Okay, so I do something a little different in that I give each personality type two names, one to reflect that sort of primal ego version and another name to explain the high side. So the type 1, the high side name is the architect, the ego side is named the judge. So this is somebody who's very concerned around order, but is order guided by the higher self, or is it just what my ego thinks that everything needs to be perfect and that it's my job to correct all of you, right? Type 2, the altruist versus the victim. Now, a type 2 would never identify with the name victim. They certainly don't think of themselves like that. But what the programming is that you should always put yourself last. You're supposed to be in service. So that's that I'm here for your needs and your feelings, not my own. So I put myself last, and usually I get myself in relationships who agree that it's good that I put myself last, right? So I'm a giver and I hook up with a taker, and now I'm locked in forever with having my needs unmet. The high side of that is the altruist who is a giver while still taking care of their own self first, putting themselves as the primary concern. Type 3, the luminary or the pretender. This is our typical type A, driven, success-oriented. That pretender is around modifying how you seem to other people. It's creating a successful persona for yourself that may not be totally true, but you kind of buy into this is who I want to be, so I'll just say that's who I already am. So the luminary is more aligned with a personal sense of self. It's driven from within. This is what I love to put my energy into versus this is what society tells me is the most reputable thing to put myself into. Type 4 is the creative or the diva. So this is a highly creative. I say they're the only hardcore right-brained ones out of the 9 types. So they're the right brainers in a left brain world, and it makes them feel really different than everybody else. They are really different from everybody else. They struggle with timelines and, all of the concrete go stuff. They're more in their feelings, and this really bogs them down. When they step into the high side as the creative, they are more disciplined. They are more able to process feelings and not get mired in them. So they're able to create without that dark side. The type 5 is called the sage or the miser. They love information. They're trying to be more of an observer than an engager. They're kind of secretly watching what's going on. And even though they're pursuing wisdom, they are coming from a real, it's named the miser, a scarcity orientation where they feel they can't share. And so they don't share themselves, they don't share their wisdom, they don't share their stuff, and they kind of really self-isolate, and that can lead to a lot of depression. So the high side of that is the sage, where they are sharing their wisdom, where they're gaining wisdom through experience instead of books, and they're actually willing to get in there and live. The type 6 is called the guardian or the alarmist. So the orientation is around integrity and really wanting everything to be safe and stable for all of us. However, that survival programming has them afraid of anything coming. Whatever's coming is probably bad, and it keeps you in a very high state of alarm all the time, very difficult to relax. Panic attacks are common. So getting up into the guardian is where you trust yourself and your ability to meet whatever is coming your way. You're intelligent. You're strong. You can find a solution. So now you're able to just calmly, rationally deal with what's at play. The type 7 is called the uplifter or the hedonist. This is a dessert first type, a pleasure oriented type. They only want the fun, happy parts of life. And this can lead to a lot of escapism that is self-destructive. And so when they move into the uplifter, they are inspired by their life. They're not afraid to face the dark side of things because they're grounded. They're connected to the higher self. Again, they can handle anything. The type 8 is called the leader or the bully. This is a power oriented, very powerful, very driven, brings big change. However, they, in their survival and scarcity mind, believe they need to be in charge of it all, control everything, in order to sort of lock down the safety. But of course, this can be very destructive to your relationships and even to what you're trying to accomplish by sort of forcing everything. So when you move into the high side as the leader, now you're oriented around wanting to empower others. It's not about you having all the power and control. It's about helping everybody have power and control. And then there is the type 9, the healer or the submissive. Very gentle, very kind, very soft people. They're everybody's safe place to land. However, they're afraid to speak up for themselves at all. And so they become very passive and submissive, often can hook up with bully kind of personality who want to be in charge of everything. And so they sort of surrender all their power. And that's, of course, sabotaging who they're really meant to be, which is the healer. And they're a healer with their presence. They don't have to have a medical degree to be a healer. It's that kindness, that safeness, that generosity of spirit that is healing to everybody around them. We're also grateful for those kind people who forgive us for being in our egos, right?
To take the free personality type quiz, join the membership, get the book, or schedule a private guidance session, get everything you need at yourvitalitypersonality.com.